Miss Moneypenny, have you seen 007?
No, sir, but I think it's with the enemy, pumping them for information.
Well, tell him I said to pull out and report to headquarters immediately.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Silver 5150 channel. Special shout out to my new family. Thank you guys for subscribing. I really, really appreciate the subs. I appreciate you senior stackers out there that are helping me get the channel moving a little faster. Actually, a lot faster. I've tripled my subscribers in a weekend. That's pretty freaking amazing. I hope you guys are doing all of your cellular immunization stuff, taking your chaga, taking your vitamin C, pretty much anything that you want to add to your nutrients to give you that fighting chance we talked about with the vitamin D and the different types of vitamin C out there. Okay, so what you're looking at right here is 50 ounces, 50-ounce containers, or 400 ounces of 4/9 fine silver grain or shot, as they call it. And I bought this from Apmex. This is the last gas, by the way, of the multi-gram portfolio PAMP packets that I sold to Money Metals, and I got the cash for it, and so I decided to roll it over into silver. Now, you guys know I have all kinds of other silver. I have plenty of bars and rounds and big bars and big coins and all that stuff, and 4/9s, 3/9s, even got some 925, but I didn't have any of this. But I thought about it, and I said, what if it turns out that colloidal silver is actually going to be of import here later? I mean, we don't know for sure. I mean, we're thinking of all kinds of things that might defeat this bug. What we do know is that for the COVID-19 virus, it has a really hard time surviving on a silver surface. If you've got like a pure silver surface, it's not like I said silver surface, it sounds like it has a really hard time surviving based on, the research I've heard about. Despite that, I'm going to go ahead and load up. And I have loaded up on this silver grain here. 4/9's fine. The purer the better, I guess. And I've got a colloidal silver maker on the way. And I'm going to study the art of colloidal silver making. I am going to practice it and see if I can get pretty good at it. Now, I'm not going to barrel through all these and make a bunch of colloidal silver. I've got these still sealed in case I have to sell most of them back. But I am sure one of them is going to bite the dust in the process. But, it's you're not trying to come off all, lofty or virtue signaling, anything like that. If the need comes around my town, I look at it as a place I need to protect, and colloidal silver is going to fit the bill. Or if they have some kind of missing machines that are going to help out somehow, or those come on the market and you need this sort of silver to help it operate, I want to already have it in my inventory and ready to go. So that is my reasoning behind that. So fine, 4/9 fine, silver grain. I got this from Apmex, by the way. Let's see if we can get Apmex logo on there. Yeah, there's Apmex right there. Okay. And Apmex has this in 50 ounces is the biggest they make. They can go on down to like 10. I think you can even get like 1 ounce of silver grain from them. And the price is, comparable to just, a little bit over spot. No big deal, right? Okay. All that aside, I'm looking at the futures markets tonight, guys, and it is insane. Oil took a huge tumble, I guess, with the Saudis, admitting that they were going to increase production. I guess they don't care about what the spot price for silver is anymore, or whatever the market price is, and they're just trying to, stir things up to get attention, whatever they want to do to try to, get the most they can out of oil. Of course, Putin doesn't like that because most of Putin's wealth, I think, is tied up in oil. And a lot of it in palladium, this sort of thing, things that are, natural resources in Russia, but he does have a lot of money tied up in oil. The equity futures, down across the board, across the globe, 4.5%, 5%. You got that going on. Metals are trying to shine. You can tell they're being suppressed right now, even as the pre-market is going on. We've got silver probably up about 20 to 23 cents. We've got gold up about $20. But the other metals that are more industrial, silver's industrial, but it's also money. But platinum, palladium, of course, they are taking a huge hit, and copper's taking a small hit and stuff. So that's just a little market reporting there for you. The 10-year yield for the 10-year bond, and then, of course, the 30-year and the 2-year, they're all in the dumper on the way to zero. I have no idea what's going to happen when these things get to zero. But I would imagine that the dollar is going to fall even faster, which, by the way, is falling tonight. Against the euro, I think it's down about 99 basis points, which is a huge move out of the euro and stuff, and should be reflected in metals a lot more than it is. But again, we're dealing with a lot of different dynamics. I love how the communities kind of brainstorm at one another, trying to figure out what the machinations are behind us not getting the returns that we know we're due in a highly fearful, highly volatile scenario like we're in. The VIX index, which is the fear index, it's going to be through the roof tomorrow. I think it finished at about 46 basis points on Friday. I expect another 20% climb tomorrow, if not more, depending on how well they can what? Prop up the equity markets. When I say they, I'm talking about central banks across the globe, including the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve these are the tasks it has to do. It has to support the repo market tonight to get liquidity into the banks for tomorrow. And I'm talking all of them, across the United States, probably some in overseas too. They have to keep the stock market from completely crashing. They're just trying to slow it down. If you ever had like a really heavy person about to fall, you're trying to keep them from falling, you can't stop them maybe, but you can slow it down and keep them from hurting themselves. That's basically what the Fed is doing with the equity market right now. Oil, good luck. There's nothing they can do to really stop that. I mean, it's going to have to come from foreign powers to decide to, decrease production to get the price up on that. The bond market, it is $105 trillion market. They have to try to keep this thing from going to zero. Good freaking luck with that. And of course, through the COMEX and the presidential working group on equity markets or foreign markets or no equity markets where they control the stock market and try to keep it from falling. They also are tied in with the COMEX and these guys, and so these different types of activities with the commodities are going to have to be controlled as well. So they got to keep gold and silver from going through the roof. They've got to keep the stock market from falling. They got to keep the bond market from falling, and they also have to try to keep their eye on the banking system because it's about to crumble. I told you, if you haven't taken advantage of easy credit right now, do what you can to do that. I don't know what you need. You know what you need? Go out and get some durable goods that you need, man. I mean, I know you see silver 5150 and I have a lot of silver, but trust me, I had all the other bases covered before I even bought silver. Believe me, all the other bases are covered. So just kind of look at your scenario, look at what you're doing, look at what you got, and go, it'd be nice if I had some of this. Go get it. If you've got the means, go get it. And if you're able to get some and then get a little extra because your neighbor or your family might need it, go get it. Let's use this monetary system before it completely cracks up and falls apart. Get the stuff we need. That's what China did. China built a bunch of ghost cities because they knew they wouldn't have the money or the credit to do it later. And they knew that the system was going to crack up. It was like, well, let's build the cities now. And they did. They got a bunch of ghost cities over there the size of, I don't know, probably Rhode Island. Who knows? Anyway. I'm done for this week. We're going to start a new week, and guys, it's going to be a roller coaster from hell. But it could be just a roller coaster if you got gold and silver, right? All right. So go out, get ready. Let's strap in 5-point harness and see what the heck's going to happen. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the new subscribers and having a great time here. Let's get through this together. We'll talk to you later.